Welcome to Take Two with Freddy. Real talk about second chances, real life, and rewriting your story. I'm Freddy Freundlich, and here's the deal. If I didn't walk it, I don't talk it. As I sit down to record this episode, it's just a couple of days before the Jewish New Year, Rosh Hashanah. Now, many of you listening aren't Jewish, and that's just totally fine. What I want to talk about today goes way beyond religion, because every holiday, every birthday, every milestone, every new calendar year gives us something we all love, an excuse to start fresh. We love that idea, don't we? We love being able to start all over again, to turn over a new leaf, to talk about refreshing, recharging. We say this year I'll finally do X, Y, Z, or this Monday I'll start my diet again. We're used to this and we love it. But the truth is, we don't need excuses. We don't need a holiday or a milestone to give ourselves permission to reset, to restart, to recharge. The truth is, every single day, heck, every single moment is a brand new chance. That's really the heartbeat of this podcast, Take Two with Freddy. It's all about second chances. So even though we don't need a holiday or milestone, it helps us. It helps us give us that little extra kick. So let's take advantage of it. And when's the best time to make this refresh, restart? Well, yesterday, that's pretty much gone. Done, finished. There isn't going to be any yesterday, regardless of what we did or didn't do. Well, we can also start tomorrow, but between you and me, tomorrow's a big unknown. We have no idea what, if, when there'll be a tomorrow. So at the end of the day, the only thing you and I really get to work with is the now, the present, and that's the gift. That's the take two moment that we get every single morning. And again, it's nice to have these little reminders like Rosh Hashanah, New Year's Day, Chinese New Year, a birthday, an anniversary. They're all about nudging us. They do push us to reflect, to refresh, to ask ourselves, how am I really living my story right now? And this gave me some thought this week. And it's been on my mind for a few days. Wasn't sure if I actually want to even discuss it because I usually stay away from politics here. That's not what Take Two with Freddy is about. But recently, the world was shaken by the killing of Charlie Kirk. Now, whether you agreed with Charlie or not isn't really the point. Many people did agree with him. Many people did not agree with him. But across the board, something fascinating happened. People on all sides condemned his murder. And even those who strongly disagreed with him said the same thing. And that was that Charlie Kirk was a good man. He was someone who believed in dialogue over violence, someone who respected people enough to listen, even when he disagreed. Now, what struck me most wasn't the politics of it. It was legacy, his legacy. Legacy is something that we've discussed on this podcast. As a matter of fact, a few weeks ago we did. And I thought, here was a man, just 31 years old, and yet in such a short span of life, He built something so strong that his name, his work, his character were being talked about by leaders all over the world. And it hit me. Legacy doesn't always need to wait till you're old and gray. Legacy is built day by day. It's in the choices we make, the way we treat people, and really the way we show up. So let me ask you guys something. If your story were to end today, what would people remember about you? What would your legacy be? And let me ask you even another question. What would you like your legacy to be? You know, folks, one of the things that I've learned is that the world is very topsy-turvy. As much as we think we know what's going on and what's going to happen, all sorts of things happen. And really, until our very last breath, none of us can know for sure what our legacy will be. But if I went today, I honestly believe that the thing people would say about me is this: Freddy never ever quit. No matter what life threw at him, setbacks, failures, doors closing, he just kept going. I'll tell you a quick story. Several years ago, I was trying to break more into the international scene. I wanted to speak more. I wanted to mentor people who weren't in my circles. And as much as I tried, I just got a lot of polite no's and doors kept shutting in my face. I kept calling, kept showing up, and I kept refining my message over and over and over again. And then what happened was that somebody put me in touch with a small company in South Korea. And I had a Zoom call with them. But the crazy thing was that I wasn't really interested. It wasn't what I was looking for. But I was open enough to listen. And that one Zoom call turned into a long-term relationship, which eventually opened doors for me that I never expected. Now, it didn't happen overnight, but it happened because I refused to stop knocking. I continued knocking on that door. It was that persistence, the habit I've developed of getting up and trying over and over and over again. And that's what I hope people will remember about me. Now, when we talk about legacy, and I speak about this with different people, I find that many of the people don't really want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about their own legacy. And I personally think that the reason is because they're afraid. I find that in life, whether we're talking about legacy or for that matter, most other things, fear is the number one thing that keeps people stuck. You know, I once heard someone say that the opposite of fear is faith. Think about that for a moment, folks. Fear seems to be always with us. Now, in life, we always are in one of three places, in our minds, that is. And that is, we're in the past, yesterday, we're in tomorrow, the future, or now the present. Now, in reality, we can only be in one of those places, and it's always the now. But we spend most of our life in yesterday or tomorrow. Now, when we're thinking about tomorrow, that's where fear comes in. Most of us are scared about tomorrow. We're no longer scared about yesterday because yesterday is a done deal. It's all over. But what we do is we have this habit of beating ourselves up over yesterday, the mistakes, the regrets, the things that we obviously can't change. I heard somebody say to me, and let's see if I can remember this, that today is tomorrow that we were afraid of yesterday. Think about that for a moment, guys. It's so true. On the most part, my todays are very good. I really have, on the most part, very good todays. But I'm not supposed to have that because yesterday I was worried about today, and rightfully so, even though today was a good day. And today I'm worried about what may happen tomorrow, even though if you look at the statistics, tomorrow will be a good day, but yet I'm still worried about it. In other words, we are afraid. And I don't even know where this fear comes from. Well, I backtrack. I do know where it comes from. But do you guys know that we're not born with these fears? In fact, we're only born with one natural fear. When a baby comes into this world, the only thing that they're naturally afraid of is the fear of falling. Everything else, I mean everything else, you can put them in a pit full of snakes. That they've learned. They've picked up along the way. By age 7 or 8, most of our major fears are already wired in. I'm going to tell you guys a dirty little secret. When we talk about second chances, they don't exist in yesterday or tomorrow. They only exist in the now. And the more we can find our way to anchor ourselves into now, the more life opens up for us. Several years ago, I heard a woman speak by the name of Esther Hicks. I'm not sure if she's like a spiritual guru or a motivational speaker, but I went to one of her talks and I was really impressed. In fact, you can hear her probably on YouTube. But she talked about something called the rampage of appreciation. And it's a practice I've grown to love. It's very simple. Of course, simple doesn't mean it's easy. In fact, most things in life at the end of the day are pretty simple. We just make them more difficult. But how it goes. Take a few minutes each day, better yet, write it down, and go through what you have now. Things that you have now in which you are grateful for. But they have to be something you have now, not that you had yesterday or not that you hope to have tomorrow. So let me do a little bit of that right here and give you guys an example. Freddy, I'm in pretty good health. Thank God. Sure, it's not perfect, but for my age, it's excellent. Freddy, I'm in a loving relationship with a wonderful partner. I've got children, grandchildren, stepchildren, step-grandchildren. I've got a whole beautiful family tree. I'm part of an amazing community and blessed with real friendships. I live in a beautiful apartment overlooking the Mediterranean Sea. I get to do the work I love, mentoring, speaking, learning, growing. I get to travel. I meet people. I get to help people. Now, when I stop and start taking stock of what I just said, and by the way, I've just scratched the scratch. I could tell you and write a lot more about what I'm grateful for today, what I have today. I realize that I am holding the brass ring. But yet, like so many of us, I sometimes find myself running after that brass ring. I'm going after what I already have. I can't tell you how many times I found myself chasing something that I already have. This now is what I'm describing to you is the power of doing inventory. Any business that doesn't at least annually check its stockroom is not going to be in business very long. When you're in business, everybody knows from time to time you have to do an accounting. You have to see what you have, what you've sold, what has expired, what is spoiled, what you bought a number of years ago and today is worthless, or what you may have bought and today has quadrupled in price. Without doing simple inventory, you have no business. Well, folks, we are all businesses within ourselves. And unless we do inventory at least once a year, if not more often, we don't deserve to be in business. We are going to stagnate. It's time for us to do inventory. And the inventory again is, what do I have today? What do I have today that perhaps it's time to throw out? Or what do I have today that maybe when I acquired wasn't worth much, but today it's worth a lot of money? So here we are, a new year, a new chance, a new chapter. Legacy is being written every single day, whether we realize it or not. Now, fear wants to drag us into yesterday and tomorrow. But gratitude is what will pull us right back into today. And here's what I really do know. When you take care of today, tomorrow really does take care of itself. So my friends, here's your Take Two invitation. Start fresh. Start right now. Write a legacy worth living. Do a rampage of appreciation. And above all, live today. Because today is the only page you're guaranteed. As we step into this new season, I want to wish each and every one of you a happy new year, whether you're Jewish or not. My hope for you is rather simple. May this year be your Take Two year, a year of second chances, fresh starts, and new beginnings that you grab with both hands. I want to thank you guys once again for joining me on this episode of Take Two with Freddy. And if you haven't already done, please take a moment, subscribe, like, and share. Until next time, keep living your second chances.